Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I'm finally getting around to filming my postnatal depression video, and that's because everything's settled off now. My medication's working, I'm generally feeling more motivated and happier, and I wanted to be in the right mindset to do this video because I didn't want to just be a rambling mess. But then again, I'm always a rambling mess, so what's new? So this is going to be a bit of a serious video, but it's me. I can never do a serious video properly. So I have some things written down in my notebook over here, just so I don't forget anything. Noticing the symptoms. So because I've suffered with depression for such a big chunk of my life. I mean, at this point I've been diagnosed with depression 11 years. I probably had it before then. People have told me I probably had it before then. But I've been diagnosed with it for 11 years, and I've been on and off medication throughout that whole time, in and out of therapy. Also, there's been something to do with it, I've done it, essentially. So, the symptoms I noticed is that I was crying a lot. I felt like I was a terrible mother. I didn't feel like I was bonding with James the way I should have been. I felt completely worthless. I took no pleasure in my hobbies, hence why my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and my TikTok all suffered for that, because I didn't get any enjoyment out of doing it anymore. Another big thing that really affected me was intrusive thoughts. I still have intrusive thoughts, that hasn't changed, and I do cry from time to time, but it's nowhere near as often now. I feel like mum guilt never really goes away. But me and James have a fantastic bond now. You wouldn't think I struggled with bonding with him initially, but it has all plateaued off, if that makes sense. It's not getting worse. It's not been getting better lately, but it's also not getting worse, which I'm happy about. So I noticed these things myself, and then Callum also noticed that I was more snappy, extra emotional. So if he said something, I'd snap at him, or I'd cry at him, or something along those lines. Yeah, so in general, I was just feeling really rubbish, and I knew that I'd get to a point, and essentially there'd be a point of no return. So what I mean is, I'd struggle to get better. So I sought out help before I get to that point. Plus, I wanted to bond with James. I didn't want to feel like a terrible mum all the time. I didn't want to feel disconnected from James. So I went through my doctor, and my doctor has been absolutely amazing at dealing with me, but I know everyone is not in a position where doctors are helpful, or helpful to them, or they don't have a good doctor, or they don't have access to doctors. The other way you can go about it here in the UK, at least, is through your health visitor, and they will make the referral for you. But for me, the advantage of going through my doctor is that I was put on medication straight away. So I changed doctors not long after I had James, because my previous doctors were absolutely terrible. I can make a whole video on that if you want me to, but my previous doctors were terrible. So I switched doctors and then got the help I needed. So I spoke to the doctor. He'd seen that I'd been through the ringer a few times, and he was like, what do you think will help you the most right now? I said, I think I need to go on a low dose of medication and be put in for any postnatal help that I can get, and some therapy. And he was like, that's exactly what I was going to suggest. Did you have any issues with your last medication? I said yes, it didn't work. And he was like, okay, we'll try you on a different one. Thankfully this one has worked. There was some tweaking involved, and he referred me to the perinatal mental health care team, I think is what it's called, something along those lines. But he referred me to them, and they put me in contact with a nursery nurse, and then a occupational therapist, and actually an occupational therapist in training as well. And then from there, they referred me for counselling. So I started the medication straight away, and then by the time my first appointment with the occupational therapist came around, the medication was starting to take effect. And I spoke to her and I said that it was making me really drowsy. I was having trouble hearing James at night, which is, you know, worrying. You know, it was helping, but not to the extent that I was hoping it would. And she recommended the dose being upped from 15 milligrams to 30. And she said that that would reduce the amount it makes me sleepy. I was like, okay, great, let's try that. And I spoke to my doctor probably like a week later, and he made the adjustment, and it worked. I wasn't feeling as sleepy as I was, and it was helping a little bit more. Brilliant, fantastic. So I was having regular appointments with my doctor to do medication reviews, and with the occupational therapist, and I also got into therapy. I got 6 sessions of counselling. Personally, I don't think it was enough, but there was nothing I could do about it. I had used up a lot of counselling sessions because of my history with depression, so there wasn't much I could do about it. A week after my occupational therapist signed me off, and a week after my counsellor signed me off, I took a big hit emotionally at home, because I found out some of my family are moving away, and it's obviously made me very sad. I'm also going to be out of a job by the end of the year, so now I need to find a new job and career path, because I've been doing that job for 6 years, but it's just not feasible anymore. I can't keep doing it, both financially and physically. It takes a lot out of me doing what I do. And then obviously needing to find a new job, have the added pressures of having to find childcare while I'm at work, and just a whole lot of stuff going on. Don't get me wrong, some of that stuff is still going on because I obviously still have to find another job. And obviously my family are still moving away, and that makes me very sad. Because they're very close to me. They're James's godparents. I think the absolute world of them. So I am sad to see them moving away, but I do understand it is what they need to do for their own mental health. So that led to a dip, and that meant that I needed my medication putting up again. But since it's been put up, everything has plateaued emotionally, so hopefully we'll stay there, because I'm now on the maximum dose of the medication. Hopefully we'll stay there and it will start to trickle down again, so we'll see. In terms of treatment, like I said, the medication has been working. I had 6 sessions of counselling. I think I could have used more than that, but I didn't have much of a choice because it's through the NHS. You only get a certain amount of counselling sessions. I've used a lot over the years. And then obviously the perinatal mental health care team. They were all fantastic. Every single one of them was amazing. My doctor still checks in with me every 2 months. We do a medication review and he sees how I am. I hear how's it going. I think I've just told you how it's going, really. Everything seems to have plateaued off for now. The biggest side effect of my medication is probably the weight gain. You know, like, do I want to have gained all this weight? No, of course not. But unfortunately, it's something I just am going to have to deal with. Not in a sense of I just need to let it happen. It's I need to combat it and fight it. Because the medication's making me gain weight, but the weight gain is making my hypermobility worse. So it's a bit like, you know, pulling the string from both ends? Is that the expression? Whatever the expression is. So that's affected me quite a lot in terms of my self-esteem and that. But I do have motivation back, hence why I'm back to making videos. And I'm looking forward to the future. So I want to say I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not really an enjoyable video, but I hope you found this video informative. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.